What's up, YouTube? Today we've got another test with the oscilloscope, the wheel speed sensor. Stay tuned. Alright, so the test vehicle today is of course my work van. This is a 2006 Chrysler Town & Country, and it is a front-wheel drive vehicle. You can test the front wheel speed sensor the same way as we're going to do today. However, you would need to put the vehicle in neutral, and you would need to have both front wheels off the ground. So since the back wheels just kind of freewheel, and this is just a demonstration video, it was a little easier to use the rear wheel instead of the front wheel for this test. So we'll give you a little background. I've got everything set up already here. So the first thing we did was jack up the vehicle with our orange Harbor Freight Daytona 3-ton jack, and then we went ahead and put a jack stand up underneath there, and then I even have another one in the back there for safety as well. The next thing we want to do is locate the wiring that we're going to need to work with here. So I'm going to bring you in there. You can see that yellow clip. So that is actually for the wheel speed sensor, and the wiring actually goes way up underneath the vehicle here, and I'll show you. And as you can see, we've got the scope and the scan tool set up here. So if you follow that wire, it comes up right here, and there's two wires in there. There's green with orange and green with blue. The green with blue brings 12 volts from the computer down to the sensor. And then when the wheel spins, the sensor interrupts the circuit, and then it sends a signal for the computer to interpret back through the green and orange wire. So it took me a little while to figure this out, because I was trying to use the orange wire thinking that's the signal coming off the sensor, and that's what we want to pick up with our scope. But what we actually want to do is test from the 12-volt wire here, the signal that's actually being interrupted, and that will get us the waveform that we're looking for on our screen. Either that, or all I'm actually doing here is testing if the tone ring is good, because we're not on the signal wire. And from what I've heard and seen, you want to be on the signal wire, but no matter what I did, I couldn't get the waveform to look right without jumping over to the other wire. So if someone out there is more experienced with oscilloscopes than me, maybe you could tell me if I am doing this on the incorrect wire or not. However, we do have a pretty similar waveform, and I believe this video will give you the basic idea. Obviously, every vehicle is going to be a bit different. Another thing I ran into the issue of is that I could not find a spot that was really good for a ground. I ended up using that, but I tried, all kinds of different bolts back here, but unfortunately my leads are not super long, and I don't have any extensions yet for my leads, unfortunately. So pretty much just had to work with what I got. That's where we're testing from here today. And so I've got the key out right now, just so I'm not running the battery down, but I'm going to go ahead and put the key in the vehicle, turn it to the on position, and then we're going to be right back and we'll check our signal. All right, so we got the key to the on position. So now we're going to go back to the back of the vehicle here. And if I happen to have shown it already, no, my jack stands aren't touching. And yes, I know that the leaf spring's not the greatest place to put those. However, my van is super duper rusty, and the spot that the jack is at is the only real spot I can jack it up from the side. If I jacked it up from the axle, the tire would be pushed way up into the wheel well, and I needed the tire and body, or I needed to lift the body up off the tire so that it'll spin. So anyway, this is our base waveform here, and once again I apologize for the glare. Let me try to turn that away from the sun as much as possible. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, so ignore what it looks like there. It's kind of supposed to be flat, and this scope doesn't have the greatest like noise reduction in it. So anyway, we've got it set up on an AC. We got it on channel 1 AC voltage, and then I changed the bandwidth to the only lower setting that I could find, because it seemed like if we go to full, it makes the noise even worse on the waveform. So I'm going to go back to that, and then now if we spin the wheel, you can see that we're actually getting a signal every time that tone ring or reluctor wheel or whatever passes. It will change it. So basically treat this line here as a flat line, and we spin the wheel again, and then you can kind of see, and then as the wheel slows down, those the frequency changes, or the lines, they get farther apart. And we can even change it where the lines are just a tad bit smaller, and then that's kind of what that would look like if we changed that. Then of course we can also change our time base a little bit to where we don't see as many per screen, and then spin the wheel there, and then you can get it really just depends on what you prefer and what you kind of want your waveform to look like. But assuming that I am on the right wire up there, then we have proven this to be a good wheel speed sensor. And even if I am on the wrong wire, we have proven that the tone ring or reluctor ring is not restricted or obstructed in any way. And the only difference between this test if I'm wrong and the correct way if I'm wrong is that you would have to change your settings on the screen, but otherwise the way you're going to hook it up and spin the wheel and all that is exactly the same. But bear with me as I am still learning the software of my top-down oscilloscope, as well as learning how to use the scope in general. Every time I learn a new scope test, I feel that I should post a video on my channel. One, because that's what I do, but also just in case it can help anyone else out there, because I know there's a large percentage of techs out there that have no idea how to use one of these. So the more people we can get using them, the more accurate diagnostics we can get, and less angry customers. That's going to be the end of the video for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Just a quick, short and sweet how to test a wheel speed sensor with an oscilloscope. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Also, please like and comment below, and I will see you next time.